Out of the blue, I found myself encountering her in the monotonous labyrinth that was our office corridor. An enigma of a woman, she was undeniably young, but there was a depth of character that hinted at maturity beyond her youth, resonating with an elusive yet alluring charm. Her hair, a golden cascade, grazed her shoulders just at the right length, not too long to appear untamed, and not too short to hide the grace of her slender neck. They were like strands of spun sunlight, framed beautifully around her face, and catching the artificial glow of the office lighting in a tantalizing dance. Her eyes, a piercing shade of cerulean, were clear as a summer sky, and just as mesmerizing, capturing my gaze with an enchanting promise of secrets hidden within their depths. I found myself momentarily ensnared, unable to escape their magnetic pull. An enviable figure she possessed, slender and supple, accented by her genes that clung to her in all the right places, enhancing her delightful rear. It was a sight that could command the attention of anyone who chanced upon her, stirring up a mix of admiration and envy. Her face, unmarred by the common artificial enhancements of the era, was an ode to natural beauty. Her lips, an exquisite balance between thick and thin, boasted a soft, captivating pink. They held an allure of their own, drawing attention and eliciting an unvoiced curiosity about the soft words they could whisper, the laughter they could share, or the sweet secrets they might hold. This was our first encounter, in the sterile, soulless hallway of our shared office complex, a place I had traversed 1,000 times before. Yet she was a breath of fresh air, an intriguing anomaly in my humdrum routine. A stranger, yet there she was, working just a stone's throw away from me in the adjoining office space, a serendipitous revelation, altering the monotone rhythm of my office life, adding a dash of color, a whisper of intrigue, and an undertone of anticipation in the otherwise bland palette of my everyday existence. Overwhelmed by a compelling, irrepressible desire to know her, I surrendered myself to this tantalizing opportunity. With a practiced calm hiding my thundering heart, I approached her, a beacon of beauty amidst the mundane office surroundings. "Excuse me," I began, my voice emerging stronger than I had expected. I couldn't help but notice we're neighbors. A tentative smile touched the corners of my lips, mirrored by the soft intrigue lighting her eyes. It was more than a mere introduction. It was an invitation to explore the tantalizing realm of possibility that she represented in my otherwise unremarkable existence. The die had been cast, marking the genesis of a journey sparked by the collision of two strangers in a desolate office corridor. Her eyes, that brilliant blue, shimmered with a curious light as her lips curved into a soft smile that hinted at hidden depths. "Yes, it seems we are," she responded, her voice a mellifluous harmony that resonated sweetly in the sterile silence of the office hallway. "I'm in order fulfillment for the Air and Sea Division," she added with an endearing mix of pride and bashfulness, like a secret she was entrusting me with. Then, tilting her head slightly, she looked up at me through long golden lashes, her gaze bright with interest. "And you? What do you do in this labyrinth?" she queried, a playful note dancing in her voice. There was an inviting warmth in her words, transforming the sterile office corridor into an intimate setting for this unexpected rendezvous. The mundane nature of our jobs suddenly took a backseat as we wove an interesting dialogue in the brief exchange, the ordinary office surroundings serving as the backdrop to a potential relationship marked by intrigue and shared smiles. As we stood there exchanging our seemingly mundane professional lives, an undeniable stream of attraction flowed through the space between us. It was palpable, an almost tangible whole, a dance of magnetism that drew us into a fascinating connection. Her eyes met mine, their sparkling blue depths revealing a flicker of the same desire simmering within me. An unspoken understanding passed between us, our bodies leaning subtly toward each other, as if guided by some unseen force. The air felt charge, our words, and looks imbued with a veiled sensuality that promised the potential of more. It was an intoxicating dance of mutual attraction, swirling around us in the sterile office corridor. adding an exciting, unexpected layer to an otherwise ordinary day. What a wonderful event it was. Returning from my habitual afternoon stroll, I stumbled upon an unexpected vision. There she was, delicately poised on the stairway bridging our reception area with the bustling office hub we both inhabited. Leaning nonchalantly against the railing, she engaged in animated conversation with our receptionist, her laughter echoing in the otherwise sterile expanse. From my vantage point below, her lean form was silhouetted against the overhead lighting, the denim of her jeans hugging her slender figure in an enticing display of her femininity. Her top, casual yet figure-enhancing, hinted at the soft curves of her petite breasts. It was an enticing juxtaposition of the professional and the personal, offering a peek into a side of her that was as bewitching as it was elusive. Ascending the stairs, my gaze was instinctively drawn to the irresistible allure of her figure. Her jeans, tailored to perfection, contoured the beguiling curves of her derriere in an exquisite showcase of femininity. With every step I took, the vista unfolded with increased clarity, each detail of her silhouette becoming sharper, more entrancing. A sense of anticipation danced with each beat of my quickening heart, transforming the mundane stairway into a stage for an enticing spectacle. It was a stirring tease, a tantalizing promise in the monotonous cadence of an ordinary workday. As I sauntered past her, I allowed myself the indulgence of drawing in a deep breath, filled with her intoxicating perfume. It was a scent as sweet as her, a tantalizing blend that ignited my senses and sent my mind spiraling into a whirlwind of vivid imagination. An unbidden fantasy exploded within me, a tantalizing tableau where she and I were the only ones present in the space we shared. I envisaged myself striding up to her as she leaned invitingly over the railing, my large, firm hands daring to venture beneath the confines of her delicate attire to explore the supple roundness of her derriere. My lips would then trail a path along her exposed neck, each kiss eliciting a soft, eager moan that resonated with my own desire. The promise of her response, the anticipation of her surrender, was intoxicating. Abruptly, the enticing vision dissipated as an intruder breached our shared fantasy. A colleague came down the stairs, his unwelcome approach jolting me back into the cold reality of the office. Disgruntled but not defeated, I proceeded towards the sanctuary of the coffee machine, eager to inject some caffeine into my system and escape back into the sanctuary of my office. However, the echo of the fantasy persisted, the scent of her perfume lingering in my senses, a reminder of the intoxicating promise of what could be. Although our desks were mere steps apart within the confines of the office, with only a thin wall separating them, our paths didn't always intersect in the daily hustle. Sometimes I'd find myself privy to the melodious laughter that drifted over from her office, the sound of a delightful harmony that never failed to stir a sense of curiosity within me. In those moments, I'd find my imagination wandering towards her conversation, the mirth-filled exchange she was enjoying with her colleague. I'd muse over the topic of their discussion, a part of me tantalizingly wondering if, by some twist of fate, their laughter was prompted by a mention of me. The possibility was as intriguing as it was intoxicating, a tantalizing scenario that made my heart pound in my chest. The sound of her laughter, pure and unguarded, stirred a dual response within me. It filled me with a sense of joy, a testament to her vibrant spirit that had the power to infuse lightness even in the most mundane workday. And yet, it was also a spark that ignited a deeper, more primal desire within me, a yearning that was undeniably, intensely carnal. Oh, how I longed to explore the depths of intimacy with her, to experience the ecstatic release that only such a union could bring. But until then, I had to content myself with the art of subtle flirtation, a delicate dance of words and gestures designed to pique her interest and hint at my intentions. I found myself constantly on the lookout for opportunities to push the boundaries of our interactions, to create moments that could potentially bridge the gap between professional camaraderie and personal intimacy. Each day presented a new chance, a tantalizing game of anticipation and seduction that I was more than willing to play.